Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by 1Equine. For the equine athlete, we're back at Albion Park this Saturday night. 8 races again. We start just after 6 o'clock local time. All in all, it's another well-balanced program. Looking forward to this edition of Weekend Winners. We're going to get the lowdown with Chloe Butler, a good book of drives, and much the same for Nathan Dawson. He's got some really good drives, spearheaded by Captain Shuffles, in what looks to be a very intriguing free-for-all, which comes up as race number 2 on the program. So Chloe and Nathan won't be too far away. Chloe Butler jumps in the hot seat to go through her drives on Saturday night. She joins us now. Chloe, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
We start with race 2, number 2, Tozzie's Son. Now, what did you make of the performance last week? He was unplaced, he was beaten a fair margin, so how did you grade the performance?
I was really happy with him considering he over-raced quite a bit after the false start. Everything would have been fine until we had the false start, and Shane come to me after the race and said he might have half choked off, so I think that was a big factor, and it also been over 2100 probably didn't help. Yeah, the time was super fast in that race, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. And if he drew somewhere where he could have led and run along, which he seems to like doing in a lot of his races, which he's done previously, I think we would have had a different result. Okay, so those 2 previous wins prior to that most recent start last week, they were really good. So the fact that he draws gate 2 and it's a mile, he races a winning chance here. Yeah, definitely. I think he'll be hard to beat, especially if he can find the top, which I think we should have no trouble doing. And you know, I spoke to Amanda when she was at home yesterday, and she just said he likes rolling along out in front and just doing his own thing, just keeping him happy. So hopefully we can do that on Saturday. Okay, so we just forget and forgive and go again on Saturday night. Yeah, that's it. I think, you know, no false start, it would have been a completely different result. All right. Race number 3, this is the Open, good quality race. You're driving Deus Ex. Now, we haven't seen Deus Ex since the Be Good Johnny sprint. Are you happy with where he's at ahead of Saturday night? Yeah, we are. He'll obviously need the run as he's a big boy and takes him a couple runs to get fit. But no, he'll be right. The rain sort of stalled us a little bit, but you know, he'll be better up for the run. What did you make of the run in the Be Good Johnny sprint? Yeah, we were happy enough with him. Yeah, he's up to them, but he's not up to them, if that makes sense. He keeps his way. Okay, so he's fresh up here on Saturday night, a few weeks between runs, and you're drawn 5. So what do you do? How do you sort of look at this front line? You've got speed to your inside, you've got speed to your outside. How does it sort of shake out early? Yeah, I think we're not confident about crossing down, so I think we just have to grab up and go back, and if we get in, cool. If we don't, then we'll go again next week and hopefully draw better. Surely this is going to generate good pressure all the way. Yeah, that's what I think they'll go good time, like they always seem to do in the free-for-alls these days. Okay, well that's Deus Ex. Tell me this, if he performs well, if he gets a pass mark, does he back up next week in that Christmas Cup race, or do you sort of avoid that race? I think that'll be the target if we're happy enough with his run this week. Okay, well that's Deus Ex in race 3. What about race 4, Targaryen? Now, he went under as a short price favourite. Collector Dime was able to beat him last time out. Were you happy, sad, disappointed, frustrated? What did you make of the run last week? I thought it was pretty good considering where Alana had to pull him out wider. Would have been nice if he could have sat there to the top of the straight and he would have shaken them. But yeah, I think, yeah, he was good considering he hasn't raced since Warwick, and that was quite a few weeks ago. With the rain, it sort of stuffed us around a lot too. So we were coming into it knowing he needed the run under his belt, and if he had the right trip, it would have been good, but it just sort of had to come out too early. Okay, so given that he's got barrier 1 then on Saturday night, does this sort of look like it could be a perfect setup for him? He's got early speed, but he's lethal coming off a helmet. Is this an ideal target race for him then on the weekend? Yeah, definitely. If we get the right helmet and everything works out good, he'll definitely be a winning chance. Especially from 1 and being on the fence, that's his favourite place. So yeah, I think if everything goes our way, we'll be right there in the finish. Okay, so again, we just forgive for last week and go again. Yeah, definitely. It sort of didn't really go to plan. He sort of had to come out way too early last week than what he likes. So yeah, nothing sort of worked out. Okay, cool. Race 5, you're down to drive Nürburgring. You've driven this guy previously in the past. Duke of Scotland's going to be all the rage here in this race, despite his draw the outside of the second row. Is Nürburgring some sort of sneaky first 4 hope? I think so. He's going a lot better than what his form reads. He just draws awful every week and can't get a good barrier. And I think once he does get that good barrier, he'll take some beating. But yeah, I think we've sort of just got to look after him on Saturday night and, yeah, hopefully he'll hit the line well. Okay. He is one of those horses right now. He's certainly not going bad and he's not going great. You keep thinking
he's going okay. If he just needs that little bit of luck, and if it comes his way, he could easily win one on the Saturday night circuit.
Yeah, that's it. He just needs a good barrier, and he hasn't had one of them for a while, so hopefully it'll be his turn soon.
Okay, race 7. Speaking of good barriers, here's one for you. Trotters Mobile, Mel Park Magic. We've seen this guy here previously. He comes back from Sydney. What are the expectations first up here?
Get around safely, hopefully. Do everything right. He hasn't been able to get in a race during the week, so we had no choice but to sort of give him a start in this, which is a bit hard. But
yeah, I was going to say, you found a tough one for him first up.
Yeah, hopefully, as long as we get around safe and come back in one piece and everything goes well, then that's the main thing.
Okay, Golden Sunset backs up from Wednesday night. She rated a really fast time. Mel Park Magic, on what we've seen previously here, he normally is safe, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is. I've watched a couple of replays and he seemed pretty safe, but yeah, you just never know. We don't really know much about him, so yeah, we're just going to go out there and hopefully everything goes well. All
right, so whatever he does, he'll improve. What about the last race? Obi-Wan. Small field here. Yes, you've got the wide draw, but he races a winning hope here because of the small field, because he's got that really good turn of foot.
Yeah, he loves the small fields, little Obi, so yeah, he shouldn't be too far away, and yeah, he'd take some catching if that's the case.
So what are you hoping for? Just a little bit of mid-race pressure just to make sure they're rolling, then he can produce his best late?
Yeah, hopefully they go a bit silly up front, and that's what he loves, so we'll be fast down the outside, hopefully.
Yeah, his recent efforts have been good, so you're happy with where he's at?
Yeah, definitely. Went super last week, sort of just got stuck in spots I didn't really want to be, but just driving him how he gets driven, and yeah, I think once he's like all the others, once he gets a good barrier draw, he'll definitely take some shaking.
All right, pressure time now. Which one are you most looking forward to on the weekend?
I'll have to say Targaryen, which I say every time, but yeah, he's got the good barrier tonight, and yeah, I think that'll help him a lot. All
right, we'll take the tip. Race 4, number 1, Targaryen. As always, Chloe, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks for having me.
Nathan Dawson has found his familiar hot seat. He jumps in it. He's about to go through his book of drives on Saturday night, and as per normal, he is going to be a major player. He's with us now. Nathan, appreciate the time.
Good to be on, Chris.
Isla and Daddy in race 1, drawn gate 2. Now, her form of late has been super. She disappointed last time out. Do we forgive and forget?
Yeah, she had a bit of a tough trip, 21, and probably parked out for too long, but it's back to the short trip. Obviously, she's racing harder horses than, what she was racing when she was winning, but she got a good draw, and, if I can give her a nice trip, she shouldn't be too far away.
Is she any chance of crossing the one horse highly respected? So finding the pegs is crucial. Is there any chance of that happening?
Yeah, her gate speed isn't that great, but obviously the less I do with her, I think is probably the best.
All right. Race 3. This is the best race on the program. This is the Open. Many of these horses gearing up for next week's feature, the Christmas Cup. Captain Shuffles, 2 runs back. They've both been brilliant. Last time out, you sat behind him. Were you more than pleased with what he delivered?
Yeah, he's very good. It's almost a month between runs for him, so whatever he did last week, he's going to be better for this week.
So how does it play out early? You've got speed to your inside with Mr. McLaren. Is there any chance that you can find the front here?
He's pretty quick out. We'll be having a look and, just seeing what happens. But he's pretty quick and we'll go forward. But, if he doesn't lead, it's not the end of the world for him.
He is a proven Group 1 winner at this trip. So that's probably the least of your worries.
Yeah, it is. The trip doesn't worry me. As I said, he's a versatile horse. He can race in front or off cover, so just have to see what happens.
How do you assess a Rhoda here, who's back from that 2-start New Zealand Cup campaign?
Yeah, obviously he's going really well. It's probably an easier race than what he's been racing. So you got to respect him.
And what about Hot and Treacherous? A horse you know well. He was able to score last time out, but this is going to be a challenge out there in Gate 7.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him, but he looked like he was back to near best last week, so. You definitely got to have him in there and, he's going to run a good race.
So reading between the lines, you're not swapping drives?
No, definitely not. I like Captain Shuffles and, I think he's got a good chance in this.
So depending on the result on the weekend, do you think Ben is leaning towards starting him in the Christmas Cup, which is over the 26, or how do we sort of look at that?
I'm not really sure. He hasn't said. Obviously I don't think the trip's a problem with him. He's got good speed there, so you could drive him quiet if need be, but... I think he's better off probably going for a race like that and, hoping for the best.
Okay, race 5 on Saturday night. You're down to drive Mac Assassin. Duke of Scotland is going to be the clear favourite here. Mac Assassin, He's more than capable of finishing top 4. Do you give him a solid chance in that respect?
Yeah, his form's probably better than what it actually looks. Races haven't been run to suit, and, he probably hasn't had the best of trips. So, I think if I can get a good trip, I'd be happy if I can get into the top 4.
Okay, so how do you think this race will play out? Do you think Pete just takes off immediately, or do you think he sort of just bides his time a little bit?
Yeah, I think you probably want to get up there pretty handy pretty soon. The way he went last week, running that good time, he's obviously full of confidence and racing well.
All right, you've driven Mac Assassin previously. Is he the type of horse that could win a few more here on the Saturday night circuit?
Yeah, got no doubt. He's probably more opportunist. When the races are run for him, but he's definitely got the ability to win some more races.
All right, the Mares Open is race 6. Jungle Baby is your drive here again for trainer Doug Hewitt. Early scratching of Miss Mucho. The draw's not pretty, but she still rates really well here.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably not an ideal draw for her. She's obviously proven that she's going really good, but my gate speeds are probably not the best, so where I get to is probably going to be the main concern.
When you look at that front row, though, they could easily generate strong tempo, which could be a blessing in disguise for you.
Yeah, that's right. My mare's versatile. She's strong. She's got good speed, so I'm just going to need a little bit of luck from there.
Okay. Race 7, keen to ask about Golden Sunset. On the back up from Wednesday night. She was awesome on Wednesday night. Did that time surprise you when it was recorded there on Wednesday night?
No, not really. She missed away last week, but she trotted super after that and made up a lot of ground. So when she did everything right and back to the mobile, I wasn't really surprised.
Okay, so the fact that she's drawn to lead again here, I don't think you'll get too much resistance from Mill Park Magic. Can she go back to back?
Yeah, I think she can. I was pretty impressed there last night, and if she gets the same again and races like that, she's going to take a lot of beating.
Okay. Horses like Top of the Moment, Zealous Spur, Majestic Harry, Victory Hill Van saying they're all worthy opponents, but on what she did on Wednesday night, she can repeat.
Yeah, that's right. I think she's just as good as any of them, and I've got the draw on my side, so fingers crossed we can do it all again.
So how far do you think she can go?
Yeah, I've got no doubt that she's going to be a good Saturday nightmare. She's got gate speed. Obviously, we've just got to work on manners for set and start, but when she gets that under control, I've got no doubt she'll be there with the best of them.
Can you win that battle? Like, she's only had the 3 runs, 2 from the mobile, and she blew that stand start. So do we just focus on mobile racing at the moment, or do we start sort of trying to win that battle with the stand start?
Yeah, I think eventually we're going to have to. Last week was actually the first time she's seen the stands in a race. So I think eventually we'll get there, but it'll be down the track.
All right. What is your best drive coming through on the weekend?
I think Captain Shuffles, he's a really nice horse and he's got a good draw, so we'll go with him.
All right. Race 3, number 3, Captain Shuffles. As always, appreciate the time and we'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
And a big thanks to our 2 drivers, Chloe Butler and Nathan Dawson, giving up their time and insights ahead of the weekend's action. So we wish them the best of luck. Hopefully there's plenty of winners coming their way this weekend. Time now to find a good thing for our 8-race program this Saturday night. I think we're going to go early here. Race 1, Horse 7, Mickey Magic. First up for the Turpin McMullen stable last week. From the same draw it faces this Saturday night, produced a really good run. I think she's going to be a little bit better for that effort, and I think she overcomes the wide draw to score here on Saturday night. I'm keen on her chances. Race 1, number 7, Mickey Magic, marking her as the best bet. Hopefully we get the result and we can play up the winnings throughout the rest of the card. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. 8 races at the Creek on Saturday night. First race just after 6 o'clock. We'll see you trackside.